stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas. To those guests who've just joined us, welcome. Our next stop is the Magic Kingdom. For those of you standing, please hold on to the handrails throughout our journey and stay clear of the doors. Stay clear of the doors. Ladies and gentlemen, we are approaching our station at the entrance to Main Street, USA.
Welcome aboard the Monday Morning Monorail podcast. This is Justin Monorail, and this is episode number 254 of the Monday Morning Monorail podcast. Today's Monday, June the 2nd, 2025. We have entered a new month. We are heading straight into the dog days of summer, and I got to tell you, it is boiling here in Central Florida. It has been already since like March, but it's only getting worse. So make sure you're sunscreening, you're hydrating. If you're going to the parks, it's specifically certain parks where there may not be a ton of shade, make sure you're planning for that. Don't be ashamed to carry a parasol if you need to.
You mean Epcot?
Yeah, Epcot, exactly. Epcot. I'm calling it Epcot. That's not what Walt said. I think I'm going to call it Epcot. I think that's a direct quote of Walt Disney right there. Yeah, no, I'm just saying, plan ahead, plan accordingly, but get out there and enjoy the summer because summer is here. It's great water park season, so make sure if you're into it, even though I'm not the biggest fan, make sure you go do that. But I've got a friend here with me today, a monorail co-pilot who is a big fan of water parks. In fact, she is a fan of Volcano Bay, maybe Volcano Bay's biggest fan. It's Stephers. Stephers, how you doing? You don't agree with that statement?
I'm not Volcano Bay's biggest fan, but I love me some Volcano Bay, let me tell you.
Yeah.
I love me a water park, but I feel like I'm in the minority.
Yes. I mean, at least on this podcast, you're one of three, and you love the water parks. Landon and I, not such
I just meant in general, but yeah, that too.
Yeah. No, I mean, water parks have their fans. I think that you gotta do it right. You know, you if you get you love to do the cabana life at Volcano Bay.
So worth it.
I think I could totally be into that. Yeah.
I'm just saying we could plan a trip specifically so we could go to Volcano Bay with the cabana. I
think, yeah. Honestly, we should. We've been talking about that for
We have probably,
time.
Yes.
So we should definitely do it. We'll invite Landon. He won't come. Just like today's show. Landon is not here.
What a segue. That's so funny.
No, he might go. Honestly, he might if we had a cabana. I think Landon likes the bougie
We
lifestyle.
have a personal little waiter or waitress, and they come and bring you drinks and food after. It's like a whole thing.
Yeah.
Dude. Just saying.
Mean, you don't have to sell me on it. I love being taken care of and waited on. So, especially our own little lounging area. Oh, that'd be great. I'd love it. So, maybe something we should seriously get this, look at the calendar and maybe try to think when could we possibly do it? Because that would be really fun. And let's just stop the talk. Let's take the group chat IRL.
Full send. We do that all the time. Me and you do that all the time.
Yeah, we do.
Just for the record.
We do. We're good at that. Well, I'm happy you're here, Stephers, and I'm happy that you, the lovely listener, is here with us today. Landon will be back next week, but until then, we do have some headlines we're going to talk about today, and we're going to have some fun. So I say, why don't we jump right into it? It's time for the news. It's Across the Universal with Stephers. Ha-ha! A switcheroo on the 2nd of June. Yes, this is the Monday Morning Monorail podcast, but today it's a universal takeover. Listen,
True.
The Landon's away, the mice will play. We're going to talk Universal Orlando Resort, and a couple things. There are a couple news headlines that I want to talk about, but really, I mean, I went back to Epic Universe on Saturday this past weekend after Universal has started to increase capacity. I experienced an actual live Epic day after opening day, and I've got a lot to talk about. But before we get there, Stephers, I'm going to toss it over to you because you're the one who walks us through Universal news. So let's talk about the headlines.
Okay. This is actually, honestly, it's been a long time coming. And, that was a Taylor Swift reference. I just want to let everyone know. Speaking of Taylor Swift, she owns all of her masters now. Anyway, moving on.
Girl boss.
Girl boss for real. Universal has finally added Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure, say that 10 times real fast, to Express, which I think is a huge deal. I mean, I've waited over 2.5 hours for this ride. I would wait for this ride because it's one of my favorites, if not my favorite. So, let's see. Express Pass, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Okay, cool. I don't know where this is. Is there a picture? There is no picture. I'm assuming it is similar to how it used to be. Like there's like a third line somewhere on the side. That's what I'm going to assume because they do have like the two stanchions. Yeah. Or not stanchions, but like the two different lines. I'm assuming they're going to separate it that way.
I wonder where the merge will be. That's the question I have.
Where it used to be, I remember the last room, not the last room, but like close to the boarding room, there was like a room before that, and that's where it would merge. And then you also would have like the front line and like the whatever.
Yeah.
I feel like it would have to be the room. That's a good question. Because I don't want to say it's the room before they board. It has to be like the room or two before they board. I hope it's not in the Dragon Egg room because that's hot and not the vibe. So I don't know. We'll have to report back on that. And by we, I mean you. You'll have to go check it out.
I definitely need to go check it out. So I'll be the man on the street, the embedded reporter, and I will definitely come back with my findings after I get to experience it. Because I love Hagrid's, but I'll tell you, I mean, I tend to be a little picky when it comes to lines. And Hagrid's always has extended line.
Yeah.
I mean,
always.
Yeah. Sometimes Velocicoaster, if you're there later in the day or early in the morning, you'll see Velocicoasters like 30 minutes or less. Hagrid's is always over 30, 45, like consistently. And that's just like, I love Hagrid's.
Well, it's also great, like when you have the hotel perks, the Express hotel perk. Like I think this just really wraps that up into a nice little package for sure.
Yeah, and some people were kind of saying maybe this was Universal throwing a little bone to the people who are staying at places like Hard Rock and get the Express included, because right now they're not getting that perk at Epic Universe. So this is like, well, here, have another attraction. So I mean, that's nice. Maybe that's why they did it, but it is a long time coming. So. Good change for those of us who can take advantage of it. I am a premier pass holder, flex, humble brag. So after 4 o'clock, I can take advantage of that express line once a day. And so I'll definitely check it out. Very cool. That's good stuff.
It is good stuff.
Stephers, wait, let me ask you a question.
What?
Is Hagrid's your number one roller coaster at Universal outside of Epic? Because I know you haven't got to experience that, but is it your number one coaster at Universal?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, it is. That's what Casey told me.
I think it's above. I think it's above Velocicoaster for me.
That's interesting that people. I guess I'm more of like I want the thrills, and I think Velocicoaster is just for me. For Justin Monorail, Velocicoaster is like top tier. So Hagrid's is great, but I consider it almost like a different thing. It's a hybrid. It's like almost a dark ride coaster, which is really cool. But it would still be up to there at the top. It's just below.
Thrill-wise, Velocicoaster's on top, but I think as like an overall like story like that whole thing, like Hagrid's is definitely higher for me.
Makes sense. Cool. Well, if you haven't had a chance to do it, I highly recommend take some time, check out the Hagrid's. I counted the syllables, by the way. That's a 13-syllable title for that attraction. I want to know if that's the most syllables of any attraction name. I can't think right now off the top of my head, but I'm sure there's some.
Dudley Do Right, Rip Dudley Do Right rips off. Yep. Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure is a long. I love it. You know, I love a long, convoluted name. But anyways,
No, I'm literally going through all the rides that could possibly. The Race Through New York with Jimmy Fallon. Okay.
Yeah.
That's also only 10.
It's pretty cool. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
If it sets the record, I want them to find a way to get a 15-syllable title in something coming up soon.
I mean, here's to hoping.
Let's see. What about Harry Potter and the Battle at the Ministry? That's 13.
Oh, well, look at them. They hit
So
their...
it's all the Harry Potter rides.
Oh, well, listen. Listen, at least they're consistent.
Yeah, it's good.
Speaking of the Battle of the Ministry, sort of. That was partially my segue. I couldn't. I just work here. So, like Justin alluded to earlier, Universal has opened. I don't like how the title of this goes. Anyway, ticket capacity is increased at Epic Universe. I still haven't gone. It is what it is. But I'm sure Justin will let us know how it actually was being at the park and seeing the lines, especially with the no shade. I'm interested to see like how the waits are, because I don't. The lines don't have fans with misters, do they?
I don't remember a lot of misters. They do have fans. Like a lot of the outdoor lines do have fans, but I don't remember any misters.
All right. Well, that's going to be rough. This is fine.
Yeah. So after it opened, that especially that first week, social media was going crazy about like how empty Epic Universe was. And you were like, well, what's going on? Are people just not going? No, it wasn't that. Like, for whatever reason, Universal really capped attendance. But after, like, I guess, although as I'm reading through this article from Blog Mickey, it's confusing. I'm not going to get into it right now. But what appeared to be, because you have to imagine, especially opening day, that let's just say that day specifically, opening day would have been, if there were available tickets, people would have bought them, right? They could have gotten as many people as they wanted in the park. But people were posting like wait times. People were posting pictures from the Helios Grand Hotel, and the park looked lower capacity or lower attended than even the preview days. And I can tell you, because I had a friend of mine that I work with that went the first Saturday, and they said, because they also went on a preview day, and they said they had a much better experience. They were like walking on rides. They were able to go to like any restaurant they wanted to. They went to the show, like it. And so it definitely appeared that they were capping the attendance, maybe to give people good experiences.
That, but also like to stress test it, but also not bite off more than they could chew. You know what I mean? Because there were days where people had terrible experiences and like were waiting 10,000 billion, whatever it is. I think they're picking and choosing their battles here. So. Yeah, I think so.
But now, like, we noticed, because I had previously purchased a ticket to go to Epic on the 31st, which was yesterday as we're recording. And after I bought my ticket that day, like you could go back and check, and that day wasn't available to purchase tickets. As that day started approaching, all of a sudden you could again. So you could tell they were definitely sort of loosening the restriction on however many tickets they were selling or whatever. So I'll just tell you, when I was there yesterday, if it weren't for the weather, because that morning yesterday morning was a bad thunderstorm, and I think that sort of there was a threat of weather, especially early on in the day. And then once the weather was gone, it was boiling because of the humidity. I think that limited how many people actually went yesterday, but it was still much, much busier than my preview day and what I saw last week. So, yeah, I mean, like, for example, Minecart Madness was never under an hour yesterday in terms of wait time, at least every time I checked it. And then, like, Curse of the Werewolf was getting up to like 30, 45 minutes, which we could talk about
that long.
No way. No way you wait that long for that ride, because it takes 30 seconds to ride. But like, yeah, it's just, it was crazy. So anyways, we'll talk more about that shortly, but yeah, they're starting to let people come, in larger numbers. So just be prepared for that if you have a day for Epic coming up soon.
Do it.
Yeah.
Oh, there's one more thing. Sorry. Oh, wait. Are you going to say this other thingy? The little birdie thing?
Oh, yeah. Let's throw that in. So yesterday, and I'm not going to say the location. I'll just say we spoke to someone who would know. And we were talking about sort of the flow of traffic, the flow of guests. And we were saying that we went into one particular tavern that was very, very empty. And it was like a time where people would be going there. It was like 5, 6 o'clock. Nobody was in there. I can say it was the Oak and Star Tavern. They actually have, I don't know if you knew about this, Stephers, but in that location, they've got a stage where they had 2 people playing guitar and singing. And they were like playing a little game where they passed around this basket that had sheets of paper in it, and people could pull out the slips, and it would say something like chicken. And then the performers had to come up with songs related to chicken.
Oh, that's cute. I love that.
Yeah. So that was going on. They were playing to a crowd of 15 people because there was no one in there. But that just made us think like, man, that's a cool place. Why would people not be there? And it's because right now we think it's like resort guests, single day guests who aren't going to just hang out in a lounge. They want to do the attractions and shows. Mm-hmm. So what's going to change that is when they actually open that up to annual pass holders, because people will go hang out there. It's a cool place. Mm-hmm. So we brought this up. We were talking, and this person said they had heard, they believe that Universal is going to start offering Epic as a part of annual passes, maybe in October, November timeframe this year.
That's exciting.
That is, yeah, because I really didn't think they would do that until at least sometime next year.
Yeah, well, I think with the capacity restrictions and just how it's going, I don't think that that's a terrible idea.
No, I mean, they need to get people in there. I think, and then too, maybe they start selling multi-day. I bet before they do that, they'll start selling like a multi-day ticket where you can go to Epic multiple times.
I agree. Yeah. I think that's the move. Yeah. But we won't know until we know.
So that was the secret. Shh, don't tell anybody.
Don't tell anyone except the whole internet. Okay, probably the most exciting news, mostly because I don't have any Epic Universe news, but we got our first little tease, little teasy, for Halloween Horror Nights this year.
Yeah.
HHN, social media, I think it was like only X and Facebook or something. Yeah. I don't know. Justin texted me and I was like, I see nothing on their Instagram, bro. They posted their classic static videos that's like 30 seconds, and everybody like stops and pauses and tries to find things that are quote unquote hidden in the static. Listen, I just work here, but I didn't see none. But a lot of people think that they see the phrase relive the horror. Couldn't I? Sure, maybe, I don't know. Also, a little birdie told me that Stranger Things is on the docket.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Not confirmed.
Yeah.
I'm going to just say a little birdie whispered things in my ears.
Very interesting. Okay. Yeah, I've seen some of these speculation. Well, first of all, I'm going to say I'm just excited we've got some movement from the Halloween Horror Nights accounts, because I'm just itching for it. And I thought maybe they were letting Epic take the spotlight here for a little bit. But
nah, dude.
But we're coming up on a Friday the 13th. And I have heard that on the speculation map, some people think there might be a Friday the 13th house this year. So are they waiting to do a perfect announcement on Friday, June 13th?
I will say maybe Stephers will make a trip down for Halloween Horror Nights, but also throw in an Epic Day.
There you go. That'd be a way to do it.
We'll see, though. We'll see.
I would so because I'm a noob to Halloween Horror Nights, I've never gotten to experience a Friday the 13th haunted house, and I would love that.
Okay.
Have they ever done one before? I think I think they've involved. I feel like just looking through old like historical Halloween Horror Nights information, Jason has showed up in a house before.
Yeah, he has. Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm looking. Yeah, so there Wait, what year was this? 2015? There was a Freddy versus Jason house in 2015.
That's what that's.
And then there was a Friday the 13th Camp Blood house in 2007. I was gonna say there he's been a thing. But yeah, I mean, listen, if they can execute it, they can execute it. Is that my favorite thing? No, but if the shoe fits, go ahead, go on which bay so.
Yeah, it's not for everybody, but that to me, Friday the 13th is one of my favorite horror franchises. I love it so much. And I would say a lot of that comes from, it was the first one. It was sort of my gateway into getting into horror movies because my friends were really into like, oh, can we go rent, like maybe have somebody rent us a Friday the 13th movie? And it was a fun thing to do at a sleepover. Let's watch this one. And it was fun enough. It was campy enough that I could get into it. So I got a lot of nostalgia for those movies, and that would be really cool. It'd be cool. But we'll see. Like, there's a lot of speculation, a lot of things on the table. Another thing I've heard is that there may be a Scream house, which would be awesome because I also love Scream. I've heard Fallout's a possibility.
Heard Fallout too, yeah.
I've heard Five Nights at Freddy's is a possibility. I've heard Terrifier, which honestly I would do it.
I don't.
But that's
I
not
think
my
that
thing.
would be like a meme. I think that would be the meme house, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, how they do like a comedic scary house.
You're
But
talking
who
about
knows?
Five Nights at Freddy's would be the funny.
Well, that or the Terrif. Like, I think that they could make that
'cause it'd be, like,
meme, you know
over
what I
the top.
mean? Yeah, like I think it would
Ridiculous.
just kind of be. Yeah, we'll see though. We'll see. I don't know.
I'm just not a fan of Art the Clown. Like, it's just not my thing.
You know what clown I'm a fan of?
Oh, I have no idea, Steffers. Which one?
Jack the clown.
Of course,
the
Jack,
clown.
the eye count.
That's all I got. That's all I got for you.
Anyways, a lot of stuff. Of course, we'll probably get like 5 original houses. Who knows what those will be? But if
Graveyard Games round 2.
that would be cool.
That would be so. Anyway, listen. They did Slaughterhouse Cinema sequel.
Right?
Just saying. Graveyard Games, another one to do.
They're in the business of sequels for sure. Cool. All right. So that was our Universal news. Now, because I was able to experience Epic Universe yesterday and it was my second trip, I feel like I've gotten a very good impression of this park at this point. I can tell you, aside from, let me think. No, I was going to say that I've done every ride and every show. Now it's just like restaurants and bars, but I've done every ride and every show at Epic Universe now. I'm not. That's a brag.
Justin Monorail, and I'm just gonna humble brag on my experience at Epic Universe.
That's a brag. But I'm going to tell you something, and this is probably going to be the earth-shattering news of the day. The ride that took the biggest jump from my first trip to the second, experiencing the second time and just having the best time ever, was Fire Drill. The boat ride in the Isle of Burke where you get the water cannons and you get to shoot the targets. Holy crap. I had so much fun on that ride this time. This was not alcohol induced. This was like one of the first things we had done after the rain cleared up. We actually took our rain jackets off. We got in the line for Fire Drill and we were like, oh, we should probably put them back on. So here's a couple things. I mean, it started off on a great foot because as you're in the queue and you're about to get to the dock to get on the boat, there is a wooden fence where you can see the people get on the boats and then you can't see them because they go behind the fence. Well, as soon as they activate the cannons, if the people angle the water cannon correctly, they can shoot the people standing in line. So I got hit in the face unexpectedly.
Of course you did. Of course you did.
But that I had luckily put my rain jacket on, and so I was prepared. But getting on the ride. So when Bob and I did this during previews, we practically walked on the ride, and there were probably some empty boats and stuff. But to me, it was like, oh, you just get to shoot the targets. It's almost like a shooting range, but water gallery, like a water gun style shooting range. And things happen. You get to like interact with the sets, but you don't really get wet on that ride because I came off dry, like almost totally dry. We got absolutely drenched on this day because there were certain things that if you trigger them, you're going to get a bucket of water dumped on your head.
I love, but I like water rides or rides where you can get wet. So like this is like my kind of jam.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what I mean?
We had and plus there are certain, even though you're not really dueling other boats, there are certain bins in the track where you can shoot over the targets and shoot other boats. So of course we were doing that. They were doing it back to us.
Wild.
And it was just so fun. It was so good. Highly recommend. Great way to cool off. It's a longer ride than you expect, and it's really, really well themed. It was just so much fun. So I would say, like, after we had ridden it the first time, I was like, oh, this is cute for kids. I don't know that this is something I feel like I need to re-ride or whatever. But doing it now this second time and having that experience, holy crap. It was great. It gives you exactly what you want from a boat ride. And
I want that.
It's so good. It's so good. So even better, like I say, sure, could you go when the ride's a walk on and not many people are on it? Sure. But it's a much better ride if there's a bit of a line so the boats are full. It's just, it's just so much better. We also did the, I can't remember what it's called and I was going to look it up. It's the flight training one. It almost looks like a carnival ride. And if you've ever been on TikTok or social media, you've seen that there's a version of this at the Mall of America. And there's a very famous TikToker person who her whole thing is she just makes that ride barrel roll constantly throughout the whole ride because you have control of the wings and you can make it either like kind of lean forward, lean back a little bit or barrel roll. So we did that yesterday. And my takeaway from that is, that was an upper body workout that I did not expect. It wore me out, and I achieved one barrel roll. Also, it's extremely short. You may go around 3 times, maybe 4. Do you know what I'm talking about? What's it called? It's not wing gliders. It's flight training or something. What's it called?
Dragon Racers Rally?
Dragon Racers Rally. That's what it is.
Sorry, I was too stunned by the photos to like, this looks nauseating. I don't think this is a Stephers thing at all.
I thought that I would get nauseous on it, and maybe if I had gotten my barrel roll going, I would have been. Bob got stuck upside down, which was pretty funny. It's fun, but it's really short. And I would say for kids, I don't know how, because they tell you in order to really get the barrel roll moving, you've got to shift your weight back and forth. I was shifting. I was leaning. I was turning the wings.
I love that you're doing it like here.
Yeah, I'm reenacting.
I love the reenactment.
And Christina, Bob's wife, did not get a barrel roll at all. She tried the whole time. She couldn't make it roll. I think Bob got 2 or 3. I got 1. Just 1. So.
Beauty's in the attempt. Yeah,
I tried. But I was worn out afterwards. And that's probably why I was like stretching my shoulders before we recorded. I'm like, oh my God, I feel like I was weightlifting. So anyway, I think it'd be tough for kids, but I think they would have fun anyway. Cause it's fun to just make the wings go up and down. So that's pretty cool. I did get to ride Hiccup's wing gliders. Great. Wonderful. Like that ended up being a walk on most of the day. Like it just really didn't have much of a line. And it's so good. It's a really, really good, Bob's description was it's like Penguin Trek, but like a notch up from that in terms of family coasters. And I think that's a great way to describe it. It's more intense than something like Barnstormer. I'm trying to compare it to Slinky Dog Dash. I think in some ways it's similar to Slinky Dog Dash because you get a launch very similar. Like you launch and then go backwards and launch again on wing gliders, and Slinky does a similar kind of thing. Slinky goes higher. The theming is much better for wing gliders. It's really, really good. Highly recommend. So another takeaway from this trip, Isle of Burke is a fantastic land. And we didn't spend that much time in it before. One thing I still didn't do is I didn't get the mac and cheese cone. So
that's the one thing I wanted your review on.
I know.
What am I even here for? I gotta go.
I didn't do it. But we did do the show. So good. Really, really cute. Love the show. So, I mean, the show, the 3 rides, the food and drink options, the mead halls there, the interacting that you can do in the land, because there's all kinds of dragons that you can interact with and stuff. So good. That is a top tier, well thought out land one that like surprised me because going into it, I was like, am I going to care about How to Train Your Dragon? Like, this is something for kids, right? No, it's, to me, you know, and when I talked about it with Frank and Jen on Theme Park Thursday with Dillo's Diz, I was like, part of my desire to go back to Epic is really spend more time in Isle of Berk. It paid off big time. Really, really good. I also yesterday got to do some more interaction in Super Nintendo Land. I took my power band, earned some points. I rode Yoshi's Adventure. It was cute. I mean, that's definitely a kid ride, but it was cute. But here is another big improvement from my previous time. I rode Bowser's Challenge this time and actually could understand what was going on. So, so that was good.
I'm proud of you. You got there.
Yeah, the augmented. I don't think this is going to be unique to me. I think you need multiple rides on that ride to figure out how to do it. Maybe it is just me and I'm dumb, but you're
not dumb. You're just special.
Thank you. It's overwhelming because you've got the augmented reality goggles on, and what keeps tripping me up on that ride is in order to fire your shells at the other carts or targets, it's based on what you're looking at, not where you steer. So if you want to shoot something, you have to look, but then you're also trying to steer through turns and stuff. So what happens? You look a certain way, you're going to steer that way, right? Or vice versa. You steer and you look that way. So part of the getting coins, which the whole point is you're supposed to get 100 coins. That's how you win the game, is power sliding through each one of the turns correctly, which I did yesterday.
I'm so proud of you.
I also somehow got 10 consecutive hits on targets, which was pretty amazing.
Wow, fancy.
I know, but like you go back and look at the stamps in the play section of the Universal app that I earned in Super Nintendo Land, and there's still like so many stamps that I did not achieve.
Rewritability, what do you mean?
Yeah. But I definitely got more out of it, and it was much more fun this time. Part of that could be because last time it was like one of the last rides we did, and I had enjoyed too many low blasters by that point in the day. So
of course you did.
Don't drink and cart, ladies and gentlemen. I don't recommend that. And then let's see if there was anything else that kind of improved. We did the Cirque Arcanu, the Harry Potter show. It's very much based in magical creatures, as you might imagine. It was cute. It's fine. I don't think I would necessarily need to see it again. It's worth seeing once, and they do some pretty cool magic tricky stuff. But
it's like a family kind of.
Yeah. If you're really into the beasts, you'll like it, I think. So that was cool. We did go to Burning Blade Tavern again. Always enjoy that experience, and I verified that like you do have to, like, the food and drink delivery there is still separated. So the bar inside only gives you drinks. You have to go outside to the window to get food. But that takes me to food and drink, and I think we've got a few things to talk about here. So we had a lunch reservation at the Atlantic, which is the fancy sort of centerpiece restaurant in Celestial Park. Beautiful, gorgeous theming.
Oh, no.
When you walk upstairs, there's a really lovely bar that I can imagine is going to be very, very popular. You've got the fish that are swimming in the sky and the wall-to-ceiling windows. So when we got a very good table sitting down beside the fountain where we're it felt like we were in the fountain watching the show and stuff. It was very cool. Theming's great. Service is great. I didn't try the entrees because this place, to me, is going to be a dinner reservation kind of place. Because I think at night, especially when you can watch the fountain and you can have a heavier meal, that's going to be ideal to go to a place like this. But it's a little much, I think, for lunch. So the food was good. Everything we had was good, but we just went a little lighter. So I'll tell you what we had. We tried a couple of the appetizers. We did get the ahi tuna tartare, which is watermelon, avocado, cucumber, sesame seeds, truffle, yuzu sauce. Delicious. Served with these like really thin fried crackers. Oh, so good. That was very, very good. And we also tried the jumbo lump crab cake, which is blue crab, corn puree, fennel, pepper, himica, slaw, and lime vinaigrette. Also really good. If I was just to pick one of the two, I'm doing that tartare every time. It was great. So if you're a fan,
You're making me hungry.
Yeah, it was great. They've got some interesting salads on the menu. Yesterday, I guess it's not like a seasonal thing. Maybe it's just always going to be there, but they had a sweet corn chowder. That was the soup. Made with Florida corn. Now, I didn't try this. I thought about getting it because I love a corn chowder, but Christina got it and she didn't love it. She said the corn had kind of a weird texture. It almost tastes like it was freeze-dried corn.
Ew.
Yeah.
Ew.
And it was a little bit runny, just looking at the consistency. And I like a corn chowder to be thick with two C's.
All right. Well, okay.
But I tried the Hearts of Palm Caesar salad. It's hard to mess up a Caesar salad. But the crispy Parmesan, they make it into these little Parmesan cups. They're like these thin cups. And you kind of have to cut them up and spread them out on the salad. It was great. Really, really delicious Caesar salad. And then drink wise, they have some really cool specialty drinks. I had to get one that they love so much they put their name on it. So I got the Atlantic Martini.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was the Grand Atlantic Martini Luxury Cocktail. It's got Monkey 47, Schwarzwald Dry Gin, Kochi Americano Bianco, and a Gilded Lemon Twist. It was very, very nice. Very good.
I didn't understand any of that after you said gin. I just want to let you know, but sounds delicious, delightful even.
I mean, it was like citrusy. Like I like martinis. I like a dirty olive like gin martini. But this one was good. Going with the citrusy kind of a route. It was still good, and I liked it a lot. And then Bob and Christina, they tried some other things. Bob got the melon and herb highball, and I was so jealous. Stephers, you're going to be very disappointed in me. Bob ordered the pink drink at the table.
Wow, you had one job. You have one gimmick.
I know.
What are you doing?
I know. So he ended up with the pink drink. I tried his. It was really, really good. And then I think he may have also tried the Fountain of Youth later. I can't remember. Maybe that's what Christina got. But anyways, the melon and herb, the melon and herb highball, St. Augustine New World Gin, basil and cucumber essence, watermelon syrup, sparkling mineral water with a cucumber ribbon and basil sprig. It's pretty to look at, and it tasted very refreshing and light, and it was really good. So high marks for the Atlantic. I just think I'd like to go back for a dinner experience there.
I want to go for a dinner. I just want to see the park at night, but that's just me.
Yeah, and you know, so last night they closed at 10. It doesn't get dark until 8, you know, so you're really only getting 2 hours of nighttime in the park. I'm hoping that as we get into like the fall and maybe, you know, the sun starts going down a little sooner, they keep the park hours so you can enjoy some nighttime in the park. Because it's gorgeous. And I've got more to say on that in a minute. But let me talk about lunch. Or not, that was lunch. We had dinner as well in the park. But see, we should have flip-flopped these because we went to Pizza Moon for dinner. So if you've been following Epic Universe social media, people, influencers going to the park, you know that at Pizza Moon, there is a purple pizza. And it has a purple celestial ube crust. So this pizza is roasted garlic, bechamel, fromage de lune, ricotta, pancetta, garlic confit, and a purple celestial ube crust. Now, people have been raving about this pizza and saying it's like the best thing that you can get. It's mind-blowing. I will tell you honestly, it's fine. It's fine. There were people, like, as Bob, Christina, and I were eating this pizza, all three of us were like, oh, okay. I mean, that was our reaction. There was a table behind us, and they were interested. They were going to order that pizza. And they were like, are you all, like, you don't seem impressed by the ube pizza. And I was like, it's not that it's bad. It's just fine. Like, people have been talking about it.
Overhyped.
Like yeah, going to change your life. And it's just, to me, it was just fine.
There's a pizza with potato chips on it. I want that one.
I know. I saw that and I was like, oh, we missed out on that one. By the way, these are 12-inch pizzas. They say they serve 2. I think 3 people can eat these pizzas.
All right, so you order all of them and then you just divvy and then you take the rest home.
Yeah, it's true. Because there's plenty. Now, Bob got his own like pizza that he wanted to try because he was very interested in a trip to Vesuvio. So this one is fromage de lune, pepperoni, fennel sausage, roasted peppers, caramelized onions, cherry peppers, Calabrian chili, arugula, and hot honey. Let me just tell you, this might be the best pizza I've had in a theme park.
I love that.
It was delicious. If you like spice, if you like the heat, it was so, so good. I would recommend this one to everybody who would listen to me over that pizza lunaire. Mm-hmm. Just saying. Mm-hmm. So, this restaurant works very similarly. If you've been to quick service locations at the Universal parks before, you go to your table, you do a mobile order, and then scan your table number, and they bring it to you. My pizza, and I'm sure it's because the Ube pizza has been so popular, as soon as I scanned the table number, I got a notification that my order was ready, and they brought it out like within seconds.
Oh, I'm sure they just keep pumping those out.
Yeah. And so it was so fast that when he brought it to the table, Bob was like, "Oh, that's not ours." And I was like, "No, that's mine. That is mine."
Wild. Top tier service, though.
Yeah, definitely top tier service. And if you're a fan of the grapefruit beer in Germany at Epcot, there is a grapefruit wheat ale at Pizza Moon called the Speechless Astronomer. So I tried that. It's grapefruit wheat ale, crisp, smooth character with a bright citrusy punch of grapefruit. I would say comparing it to the Schwaferhofer that you can get at Epcot, this one is much more beer tasting. It's much, you get the hops. It tastes a little more, like you're drinking a beer. That, to me, the Schwaferhofer that you get at Epcot is it's almost like a sweet treat kind of a drink. It doesn't really taste like a beer. This one does.
So I won't like that one,
I don't think
but
you
I like
will.
the Epcot one.
Yeah, I don't think you'll like this one as much, Stephers. So I don't recommend it, but not to you. But if you're a person who likes a little bit of tartness with your beer with that hops taste, you'll probably like it. So other people might actually very much enjoy. But it was good. I recommend Pizza Moon is really, really good. And again, we went in there, had no trouble finding a table. There's plenty of seating. Service was really good. And it was a nice little break. We actually got in there right when a 6 o'clock thunderstorm came through. So it was very good for our keeping us dry. But
Look at y'all go. Yeah, smart.
We did great. All right. So raving about the park. I actually did. Luckily, I got to see Darkmoor last night in the dark. So that was cool. Very nice experience. We did ride Monsters Unchained again. And it was still good. Still really enjoy that ride. They have tweaked it a bit, I can tell, in terms of the movement of the Kuka arm. And I heard people saying like you can really feel the haptic more, like it vibrates you a little more when they're doing electricity stuff. And I feel like that's true. Something I didn't notice before, but it definitely happened this time. There's a little surprise of a little spray of water on this ride. Yeah,
I love well, never mind. I don't love it because they changed it on Spider-Man, and now you just get all up in my face. I don't need all that in my face.
So this one, I'm sure it's supposed to emulate like a blood splatter at the time that it happens. So it's good, and I think that's a very good top tier attraction. Highly recommend. Curse the Werewolf, I just don't think is worth your time. Like, if Curse the Werewolf has more than a 15-minute wait, do not do it. Unless you have a desire to ride rides that are a little less intense. I guess there are people who would probably really enjoy that, but it's short and it's just, there's not much to it. Also, the carts on that roller coaster spin, but it's very dependent on, I guess, weight distribution. So yesterday our car really didn't spin. It kind of just sat how it was, while the other carts, there were some that were really spinning. So yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, let me see if there's anything else I wanted to share before we get to the after party. I think that's it. Did I cover everything, Stephers?
I think so. You wanted to talk about the food mostly.
Yeah. I mean, that's what we're all here for. We all know.
Literally. It's honestly all I showed up to this podcast for.
Yeah. Okay. So Helios. Now, Bob had made a reservation. Bob and Christina are staying at the Helios Grand Hotel this weekend. They're having the time of their lives. They've got a view of the park.
Must be nice.
Yeah.
Must be nice.
Yeah. And Bob made a reservation for Saturday night at Bar Helios. So very exciting stuff. We got to go up there, and I had read just this week that parking at the Grand Helios is $125 a day. $125. Now, it kind of makes sense because they're trying to discourage people from parking there and going, like, trying to walk into the park. But if someone wants to pay that and, like, just walk through the hotel to the park, I guess you could. But, that parking is supposed to be for hotel guests or restaurant guests, whatever. Now, what they do is they do validate your parking if you go to Bar Helios and spend over a certain amount, or if you go to the restaurant and spend over a certain amount. You can validate, and then you don't have to pay for your parking. But you still only get 4 hours. So don't think...
Yikes.
Yeah, don't think that you could go for like an early meal, get your parking validated, and then go to the park. You're going to have to pay that $125 when you come back if you cross over the 4-hour limit.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, but we went to Bar Helios. We had a patio seating where we had a view of the park. It was gorgeous. We got to see the nighttime fountain show. It was really, really good. Highly recommend. And we didn't try a lot of the food. We tried mostly the drinks. I'm just going to say their cocktails are very, very interesting. I also point out
in a bad way, or
no,
like
just
in
unique,
a
really unique.
Okay, well, that's what you want. You want a unique experience when you're going somewhere new. That you don't want to just be able to get whatever it is down the road at Dive Bar Joe's.
Yeah, that's true. You want something different. And I was going to say their price point on their cocktails is still less than GO82. So just wanted to point that out. This is it's a rooftop bar at a luxury, quote unquote, like signature hotel, and their cocktails are cheaper than GO82. Anyways, just thought I'd throw that out there.
Way to dig the knife in a little bit, bud.
Yeah. So Casey joined us for the Bar Helios experience, which was wonderful. I tried something called the Clash of the Titans, which is Tanqueray gin, feta honey, clarified lemon juice, and Saint Germain, and egg whites. And it was delicious. It was so good. It had this, similar in nature to the Atlantic martini that I had, in that it was gin with lemon juice. But the feta honey really came through in this drink. You the whole time you're drinking it, and they put as accoutrement on the drink, you've got like a little chunk of feta cheese on a stick. And I know it sounds weird. It was really, really good. I really enjoyed it. I had 2 of them.
I believe you.
Yeah. But Casey tried, she tried one that she didn't love so much. So she got the Greek God. This is a dill and olive oil infused Grey Goose with caper infused dry vermouth. The only thing that came to my mind, because I took a sip of it and I was like, oh, that tastes like bathroom cleaner. That is a very distinct flavor. And
no, thank you.
She powered through it. She finished it, but my goodness gracious.
No, thank you.
Yeah. To our server's credit, he said it's different. It's a unique drink. Not everybody loves it. And he gave her that heads up. And she was like, well, I want to try it anyway. I want to try something different. But that one didn't go so well. So for her second drink, she got Pandora's Box, which was golden raisin infused Grey Goose, Belle de Brûlée pear, clarified lemon juice, and Fino sherry. And it comes with grapes, pierced grapes on your cocktail. And she liked that one a lot better. It was really good. So I'm really glad. That was a success.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, we didn't really try a lot of the food. They've got desserts you can have up there. Casey got, she was a little hungry at this time, so she got the Wagyu beef sliders. And I tried a bite, and they're good. I mean,
they're fine.
I feel like I've had sliders like that at other like fancy cocktail bars, and they're good. Like if you want sliders, they hit the spot, but nothing I haven't ever had before. But they have a very interesting menu. There's stuff on there I'd like to go back and try at some point, but it was sort of an expensive trip to Bar Helios, and as it was,
I can only imagine.
So we didn't try all the things we wanted to. They do offer, like, you can get fresh oysters, you can get jumbo prawns, you can get blue crab claws.
Yum.
Yeah, they've got some sashimi and crudos, and then they've got these several desserts. One of them is an interactive dessert experience called the Shattered Rose. I did not see anyone get that while we were there.
For the small price of $75.
What? No, it says 32.
Oh,
It's
I don't
32.
think I
which
mean,
is a lot.
that's for a dessert. That's a lot. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but not quite 75. Yeah, the oysters are market price. They don't have a price on the menu. The prawns, the crab claws are all market price. But that dessert is up there in terms of their most expensive items. So, but it was really nice. The interior bar, I got some really cool pictures of it, so I'll post it on our social media. So go check that out.
Yeah, you will.
At Morning Monorail. I also took pictures of the ube pizza. I took a picture of my salad that I got at the Atlantic. I had girl lunch. I got a Caesar salad and a martini. But yeah, it was a really good day. We did. Oh, I didn't mention we rode the carousel. Another thing I would say, if the line's longer than like 5-10 minutes, or if you got kids who really want to do it. But otherwise,
Oh, that's adorable.
and I'd say it's probably better at night. We did it during the day, but yeah, it was all right. So Epic, another successful day. The Helios Grand Hotel's beautiful. The park is beautiful. Really, really impressed. I know it's still sort of getting like mixed reviews from people. People are saying not enough to do, not enough shade. We were reading an article actually while we were there that I think it was in the Orlando Journal or something. They were saying that they feel like one of the areas that they need to improve at Epic is just a couple more like slow moving dark rides for like kids and families. A little more to do for that kind of a group. But yeah, I mean, I said this, I think it holds true. This is a park that is sort of set up to kind of just enjoy and explore and not necessarily try to run from attraction to attraction. There's like so much to take in and discover. And that includes like restaurants and snacks.
I'm really excited for the food. Like,
Yeah.
I do want to ride this stuff, but I know, like, realistically, I'll probably only be able to do like a handful.
Yeah.
The first, like, just because like I'm gonna get nauseous. Like, I know this about myself, so like I really want to prioritize food and the overall experience. I just want to see it at night, man. That's all I want.
Yeah. Yep. So I think that if you're a fan of Animal Kingdom, I think you'll be a fan of Epic Universe. Very different parks, but you take them in a similar way. You don't just go and try to rope drop and commando tour, going ride to ride and get out of there. Because if you do that, I think you're going to leave feeling like, maybe there wasn't as much to do. I could see that. But that's not, this park kind of brings it all to the table. Oh, another interesting thing. And I don't know if this was just a team member sort of like, just spouting off whatever. But Bob and Christina were told that there was an idea, and maybe it's still sort of on the table, that Celestial Park could be a place that's open to non-ticketed guests at some point. And then
Interesting.
And then going through the portals would be where you have to like scan your ticket.
Interesting. That's an interesting thought.
Yeah. And I was like, well, but they do have 2 rides there. You've got Stardust Racers and the Carousel. So I wonder how they would handle that. But I mean, it could be. It has a little bit of like a downtown Disney. What year is this? It has a little bit of like a Disney Springs feel.
There is technically still a downtown Disney.
Yeah.
Technically.
So I guess, but I don't know. I'm not sure how they would handle that. That's just a rumor. We don't know that that's true. But anyway, that's Epic. It was epic.
Yeah, it was an epic time at Epic.
Yeah. So, Stephers, you got to get down here. You got to go. You got to do it.
I know.
You're going to love it. You're going to have a great time.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully very, very soon for you, and hopefully soon for all of you listening today. But I think that will wrap it up. So while we kind of put a bow on today's episode, Stephers, what have you got going on? You doing any Twitch streaming this week, or?
I am actually taking a hiatus right now from Twitch. I got some IRL stuff that I got to deal with, but other than that, Adventures with Stephers on most things. So go
Great.
do the things.
Very good. I will be probably, posting some stuff coming up on Friday from Geo82. So maybe you want to follow our social media, the Morning Monorail, at Morning Monorail on Instagram, Morning Monorail on TikTok. Although I think we haven't been posting as much there. We need to get back to that. We've got the Monday Morning Monorail fam on Facebook, and we have a Discord. I'm Justin_Monorail on most things, and you can follow me individually as well. And Landon, don't forget Landon. He is THEDOZ on Blue Ski. And he's on the radio. He's on legit radio, News Talk 98.7 in Knoxville, Tennessee. And he'll be back with us next week. But until then, thank you so much for joining us today. We've had a great time hanging out with you and talking about theme parks. And I promise we'll be back to Disney when Landon returns. And we've got some headlines to talk about next week. But until then, I hope you have a great week. Thank a team member. Thank a cast member. Be excellent to each other. And party on, dudes. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye. The Monday Morning Monorail podcast is part of the Diz Mornings Network. Visit DizMornings.com for Walt Disney World news, rumors, trip planning advice, and our blog. You can also visit our merch shop and look good when you're traveling to the parks. Don't forget, if you're looking to book a vacation, you can fill out a form on the DizMornings.com website, and Nate or Stephers will reach out and help you get a great deal and take the stress away from booking your next trip to Walt Disney World, Universal, or beyond. Again, visit DizMornings.com for all your Monday Morning Monorail and Diz Mornings needs.